Dark Side of the Nursery Rhyme by a black sheep. Black sheep, have you any wool? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 3 bags full. One for the master, one for the dame, and one for the little boy who lives down the lane. Crooked Hollow was a place where shadows lingered even under the noonday sun. At its heart lay a crumbling estate surrounded by fields of withered grass. In one of these fields grazed a single black sheep, its wool impossibly dark, absorbing light like a void. No one remembered when the sheep had first appeared. It had simply always been there, haunting the village like an unspoken curse. The villagers feared it, but the allure of its wool was irresistible. Rich merchants would travel great distances, offering fortunes for even a single thread. Those who gave in to temptation, however, found themselves trapped in a cycle of misfortune. The wool's beauty came with a price, and Crooked Hollow's folk knew this all too well. The curse began centuries ago with the first Lord of Crooked Hollow. Legend had it that he struck a deal with a mysterious figure, offering his soul in exchange for boundless wealth. The figure cloaked in black, with eyes that glowed like embers, gave him the black sheep. The sheep's wool will bring you riches beyond imagination, the figure had whispered. But take heed, for every strand spun, a debt must be paid. The Lord dismissed the warning, blinded by greed. He sheared the sheep, weaving its wool into garments fit for royalty. But as the wealth poured in, so did the calamities. His crops withered, his livestock died, and his family succumbed to strange, wasting illnesses. Desperate, the Lord tried to kill the sheep, but no blade could pierce its flesh. In the end, he vanished, leaving behind the black sheep and a cursed legacy. Years later, the estate fell to a new master, Lord Harrow, a man as proud as he was ruthless. When he inherited Crooked Hollow, the villagers warned him about the sheep, but he laughed at their fears. It's just a beast, he said. I'll shear it, sell the wool, and restore this wretched place to its former glory. One moonless night, Lord Harrow led his servants to the field. The sheep stood motionless as they surrounded it, its dark eyes reflecting the lantern light like twin flames. As Harrow brought the shears to its wool, a chill swept through the field, and the sheep let out a low, guttural bleat that seemed to echo from the depths of the earth. The shearing was done by dawn, and Harrow collected 3 bags of the finest black wool. A fortune in my hands, he murmured, clutching the bags to his chest. But as he carried them back to the manor, he noticed a strange weight in his chest, as though the air itself was pressing down on. That night, Harrow awoke to the sound of scratching at his bedroom door. He lit a candle and opened it, finding nothing but darkness. Yet the scratching persisted, now coming from the walls, the windows, even the ceiling. A soft, whispering voice began to fill the room, repeating the rhyme. Bah, bah, black sheep, have you any wool? Yes, sir, yes, sir, 3 bags full. By morning, Hurl was gone. The servants found his room empty, save for a single strand of black wool coiled around the doorknob. The wool passed to the dame, Harrow's widow, who ignored the servants' warnings and sold 2 of the bags to a passing merchant. The last bag she kept for herself, weaving it into a cloak. When she put it on, she felt a surge of power, as if the wool itself was alive. But that night, she awoke to find herself paralyzed, unable to move as shadows gathered around her bed. The cloak tightened around her neck, whispering promises of power if she would just let it consume her. By dawn, she was gone, and the cloak lay empty on the floor. The last to touch the wool was the boy down the lane, a curious child who stumbled upon the black sheep grazing near his home. He reached out to pet it, marveling at the softness of its fleece. The sheep turned to him, its eyes glinting with an unnatural light. That night, his parents awoke to find his room filled with black strands of wool, coiling and writhing like living things. The boy was nowhere to be found, and the villagers knew that the curse had claimed another victim. No, the black sheep roams the fields of Crooked Hollow, its dark fleece gleaming under the moonlight. The rhyme is sung in whispers, a warning to those who might dare to seek its wool. Ba, bay, black sheep, have you any wool? Yes, sir, yes, sir. 3 bags full. One for the master, one for the dame, and one for the little boy who is down the lane. Little Miss Muffet. Little Miss Muffet sat on a tuffet, eating her curds and whey. Along came a spider who sat down beside her and frightened Miss Muffet away. Eliza Muffet was the last of her family, a reclusive heiress living alone in the decaying Muffet Manor. Her father, Dr. Reginald Muffet, had been a renowned naturalist with a sinister obsession, venomous spiders. His collection was legendary, his experiments infamous. The manor itself was said to be built atop a network of tunnels filled with his specimens. After Dr. Muffet's mysterious disappearance, Eliza became the sole occupant of the manor. She was often seen wandering its overgrown gardens, clutching her father's tattered journal and muttering to herself. The villagers avoided her, whispering that the Muffet family had brought something unnatural into the world. One evening, Eliza sat on a tuffet in the garden, eating her usual meal of curds and whey. The air was thick with the scent of decay. The garden was eerily silent. She opened her father's journal, flipping through its pages of sketches and notes. One entry caught her eye. The Spider Queen lies beneath the roots. Her venom grants power, but her awakening brings ruin. As Eliza read, the ground beneath her began to quake. The great oak at the garden center twisted and groaned, its roots pushing up through the soil. From the shadows emerged a creature unlike anything she had ever seen, a spider the size of a hound, its body glistening with a sickly iridescent sheen. Eliza Muffet, it hissed, its voice soft and venomous. You have your father's curiosity and his debt. The spider lunged, but Eliza managed to stumble back into the manor. She barricaded the doors, but it was no use. The spider's children swarmed the walls, their tiny legs scratching against the windows. The whispers began that night, soft and insidious, promising her safety if she would just open the door. Days later, the villagers found the manor covered in webs. Eliza was gone, her journal lying open on the tuffet. The final entry read, "The Spider Queen has risen. May she have mercy on us all." Now, travelers who wander too close to Muffet Manor speak of glowing eyes in the darkness and webs that seem to move like living things. The rhyme is no longer a playful song, but a warning. Little Miss Muffet sat on a tuffet, eating her curds and whey. Along came a spider. Her sat down beside her, and she was never seen again. If you're hooked, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us at Veil of Dark Whispers for even more terrifying tales. The darkness is just getting started.